Hello, everyone, and welcome to our May 2023 mortgage and market update for the Denver metro Colorado area. Nicole, I am so glad you are here because, again, we have a lot to talk about. I want to start off with interest rates, as always, because, a lot of buyers and sellers were hoping in the last month or two that they were going to start coming down. Now that we were getting into the summer months, weather's getting warmer, people are getting out there. But what are you seeing on your end? I hear they're going up.
They're going up again. So the most recent average 30-year fixed rate is 6.97. So it's right there below 7%. And, everybody had been putting a lot of bank on the May 10th CPI inflation numbers. And that report came out somewhat unexciting. It came out pretty flat. We had some other numbers around it that were more spectacular and should have seen the market improve. But because that number was flat, because automobiles were up, because there was a pop in oil and gas during the month, because those numbers were up, there were Fed members of the Federal Reserve Board who controls the Fed rate. The market has already been baking in the fact that the Fed was going to start dropping the Fed rate in September, maybe even as early as July. But when after the May 10th was kind of a dud and some of the other numbers, they just came out saying if the Fed is going to move the Fed rate, it's going to be up. So with that, the market didn't like it. The market started to react. And you add to that, what we know is all of the debate around our spending limit right now. And all of that is just creating a lot of uncertainty and unknown, and it's pushing our 30-year fixed mortgage rates higher.
Right. And this is why we keep preaching to our buyers, our sellers, and our viewers here on YouTube that don't wait. We just don't wait. Don't wait for the trifecta of the perfect scenario to happen where interest rates are down and inventory is up and, you find that dream house, but 16 other people are in line for it. It's just, I get it. We all want the dream to happen, but at the same time, we have to pick and choose what is the best for our family, what's best for our lifestyle, and what's best to move on to the next step of our lives, really, because everyone, you can't control how life happens, deaths, divorces, marriages, children, job changes. You might be relocated to out of state tomorrow. You don't know that. So it's just best to be prepared as the best you can. So we are almost at the end of May. I can't believe it already. So as we head into the summer months, what should buyers and sellers be looking for? I just tapped into the inventory for today, and there's 430 active units on the market here in just the city of Denver proper, under 1 million. That's really not a lot. That's not a lot for the buyers to choose from. And that ranges all the way from $0 to $1 million. So not a lot to choose from. Interest rates are going up. So what are you seeing as we're heading forward into the summer months?
There's a lot of people that were sitting on the sidelines waiting for May, right? Waiting for summer, waiting to get in, this waiting. And especially if they've been waiting through COVID, you certainly have some very frustrated first-time home buyers who missed out on a big chunk of the market. I just spoke at an investor conference with 500 women who are looking to invest in real estate. And what I spoke about was ultimately the market goes up. Ultimately, real estate values go up. In fact, CoreLogic shows the Denver appreciation turned in February. We've been losing a little bit of the value we had gained during the pandemic. And in February, that stopped. Our market actually ticked up 0.8% month over month. So that's already starting to go up because of the limited inventory that you just talked about. We're seeing that buyers who are willing to get in, if they're looking for that perfect home, they're going to pay for it because other buyers are willing to set aside the fact that the interest rates are in the high sixes and go for that house that supports their family's success. Now, in this room of 500 investors, there were 500 women willing and able to take advantage, even in this high interest rate market, on an opportunity. Those homes that aren't priced right and staged right, they're going in and they're negotiating deals because they know they can always refinance and real estate always goes up. And so I would say continue to focus on that. Watch your lifestyle, what you need. The time is right when your time is right, not when the market tells you it is. But do know that if you're looking for a deal, You're going to find less of them when the interest rates do drop and all of those waiters come back into the market.
Exactly, because you're going to have so much more competition when you get then back out to the market. So another big topic that I know you've been hearing about, I've been hearing about, is these property valuations that are coming out from the obviously every county here in Colorado. But a lot of a lot of homeowners are frustrated that their valuations have skyrocketed. But we have to take in consideration that these numbers were crunched during the 2 years of COVID, when home prices were skyrocketing and sellers were getting 50K, 20K, 100K over list price. So what are you hearing from your clients? Because I'm getting a lot of feedback, and obviously helping out all my past clients or anyone who wants to reach out to me and who does reach out to me, as far as getting them like the current data and what's actually going on in their neighborhood so they can properly protest their valuation. But what are you hearing from your clients?
Similar. So, a lot of people want to argue that home values have gone down, and they did. So the Denver market, we went up 44% over the period of time where this evaluation, the data set is July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2022. So when did we see the most value? Right then. In fact, we started to see the top of our market was May. So maybe you saw a little bit of a tip off, depending on what area you're in. And then we lost about 7% the second half of the year. But none of that loss is taken into account in the data set. So you have to go back to June 30th or before to determine what the correct value of your home is for this assessment period. But do know that across the state, no matter what county you're in, they did that based on a computer-generated model. They did not assess your home. So now it's on you to write up a narrative that makes sense. My basement isn't finished and all the other comps are. My home hasn't been updated since 1980. Here's a picture of my pink tile. I don't have the upgrades that are based on the comparables, or I have one of the older homes, or I have some maintenance issues. This is one of the only times you really want to beat your house up. You want to highlight every negative aspect, and you want to bring that to the attention of the assessor. Now, they're expecting a lot of people to contest these values because they know it was a computer-generated model. Now, however, Marybeth, I know that you're going to be doing the comps for a lot of people. And if those comps are there, you're going to have a hard time because you do have to go back to June 30th, probably within the 3 months prior to June 30th. But it would behoove you to look at it to determine if it makes a big enough difference on your monthly payment, and then to go through the process, because the counties are making it very easy to contest.
Exactly. And between my husband and I, we have 4 properties. I know you're a real estate investor too, so I'm sure you're sifting through all your property valuations. But what you said before is so critical and so key, that this is not, the county assessor's office does not have a representative that goes to knock on doors of every single house to go view them. You have to take that in consideration. Again, this is just a computer generated model. So that's why I'm asking all the right questions to anyone who reaches out to me. Like you said, do you have a finished basement? What are your updates like? How long have you owned the property, etc. Just so I can get to the nuts and bolts of this exact house and this exact valuation and the comps of the neighborhood during that 2-year time period. So again, such a big thing that we're going on right now, but also for everyone out there who is going to protest, make sure you look at the date and the deadline for which you can protest, because every county is different. Some are June 1st, June 8th, June 30th. So make sure you get that data into them in time, and maybe sooner than later, because like you said, I think the assessor's offices across the state are going to be inundated with protests. So Nicole, thank you again for joining us. And for anyone who does have questions on anything that we talked about today, all our information will be down below this YouTube video. So please reach out to us at any time. And Nicole, I will see you next month for our June update.
Sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
Bye now.